So you walk out of that jail cell. You're no longer married.
Right.
Are your kids still in the area, or they moved away?
I have no clue. I haven't had contact with them for like a year. My friend picked me up. Oh, and hold on, before I left, I was like, all right, I'm free. I'm getting out. They didn't take me to court. The judge signed they didn't have the audacity, the decency to take me to court and apologize. It's almost like you won the Super Bowl and there was nobody there to go ahead and see that,
Yeah.
right? So they try to close it off. So they signed the paper to release me. The CO came, hey, Gerardo, your case is over the Denver Post. It got dismissed. I get out. I have my, whatever legal documents, and I walk out. And people right there, whether they liked it or not, everybody just starts cheering, right? Everybody starts cheering. I get out. And before I'm getting out, the CO tells me, oh, Gerardo, we have a problem. I'm like, what's up? He's all like, there's this ticket of like $500 that's holding you back. I'm like, really? You guys have been doing it 48 years. And I was on jailhouse lawyer mode. And I was like, the reason that I was unable to pay that ticket was because I've been locked up and it accumulated to $500. So I called my friend right here, over here, sitting down out here next to me. And he went ahead and he paid the ticket for me,
Yeah,
Sure.
and
I get out, and he was the one that told me. I was like, hey, take me to my mom's house. To my wife's house. I want to see my kids. And she's all like, hey, man, you haven't heard? I'm like, what's up? You're like, yeah, she's engaged to somebody else. You're gonna come and live with me. I got, an extra room. And I was all like, man, and everything's going through your head. Is this real? Is this really happening? I just beat this case, and you're going through all that. And I was like, all right, well, let's go. And then it consisted of me being coming out, and even the PTSD from that event. I just started seeing cars following us behind us. Me going to the place where I start looking up at the ceilings, thinking that everything's just wiretapped, if you will. I remember my friends come out, friends that, they don't gangbang. They're like, oh, people still call people by their nicknames. Whether you're from the gang or not. Clever's out. Okay, man, we're going to have a carne asada. I'm going to bring 20 pounds of carne asada. like, no. And it consisted of, we wait for the Dodgers to go to Coors Field to place the Rockies. And I remember when they were trying to take me, some friends trying to take me to the Rockies games, hey, we got 4 tickets. You want to come with us? I'm like, what do you mean by tickets? Now, we're going to go sit in this aisle. We're going to have fun. So I'm going through specifics. After a time, my phone never rang. They were like, this fool's tripping. Yeah. We ain't going to go ahead and call him.
Well, your friend Alex Sanchez, the one that actually convinced you to leave the gang, he ultimately was indicted in 2009 on racketeering charges. And the investigators said that he lived a double life, that he was participating on the criminal side of the gang life while publicly condemning it.
Right.
Is he still locked up?
No, Alex beat his case.
Oh, he actually beat his case?
Absolutely.
You think it was retaliation in the same way that...
Well, it was during that time when the Rampart Crash scandal, since he was the leader of Homies Unidos, the Rampart Crash figure, we get rid of Alex and get him out of here, deport him, then that's the end of Homies Unidos. That's when I stepped up and became the face of Homies Unidos, if you will. But yeah, they violated... the LAPD violated Special Ordinance 40, which means they cannot turn over nobody into the INS. So he was in INS custody, and that's when we had the likes of Senator Tom Hayden to back us up. We have people, even celebrities, things in that nature. So that was retaliation because of that, because he was the first ex-gang member to get political asylum right here in the United States. So he was going through that stuff as well. And it's very similar from his case to my case in the wiretap stuff, where they started twisting his words as well. And anything that we said, I couldn't say, even if you're messing around with somebody, to a friend, because I have this MS associate, I can't go ahead and say, yeah, man, that guy needs a real ass kicking, man. Or you know what? God damn, I hate that guy. All of a sudden, it's pursued, where all of a sudden that means a hit. But no, he ended up beating his case a few months after I beat my case. I was number one in my case in my indictment. And when I beat my case number one in my indictment, everybody from my case, all of their charges were also dismissed.
So
and I believe
like
there
a
was
domino effect.
Yeah, it was a
basically.
domino effect. And I believe there was some guy that he was even tired of fighting the case where he actually pleaded guilty, and they even took back his guilty plea. Right? Say, no, you guys just get out of here. Right? And after that, when I was trying to talk to the media, who's gonna want to talk to you when you're a former MS member? Who the hell cares that you just want to, that you continue to be stereotype, and you constantly have to walk on these eggshells, if you will, because all they have to say is, this guy's a former MS-13 member, and he really is meaning what he said when he just said, hey, yeah, that guy needs to get his ass kicked.
Well, it's now 2020.
Right.
You did your jail time, only to be found innocent. You no longer consider yourself MS-13.
Absolutely not.
But you still have the tattoos.
Well, there was tattoos. If you see the ones on my neck, I had some laser treatment. So I went ahead and took those off, if you will. And it was about 15 sessions. And they go away within 8 sessions. But for whatever ink was, it's probably some hard ink. So it goes. And every time when you take off these tattoos, I take kids that were in gangs with me to go through that process, that they want to go ahead and take their tattoos off, because it's not just taking off your tattoos, it's someone stripping your identity, right? And what else are you going to go ahead and replace it? So I took off all the visible ones, and the other ones, I'm collaged from the chest all the way down to my stomach. I mean, the pain to go ahead and take that off is too gruesome. But I've learned all the time, sometimes when I'm in the spotlight, that okay, now he took off his MS-13 tattoos. Now what could we go ahead and find on him, Look at the way he talks. Look at the way he expresses himself, right? Is he still part of it? Or, you start going to that stuff like that. And then the real one that starts to get was like, well, you know what? Well, he's still, a minority. Then they start attacking your race, if you will. Then it goes to the situation of, okay, then who am I? And that's when I tell the kids also, when they take off their tattoos, or the people that join gangs, that's why they join gangs, because they continue to be oppressed a lot of times by the larger culture, where they don't have no sense of identity, if you will, and they feel that they have to go ahead and join a band because they're being oppressed like that.
Well, and I had heard that removing a tattoo is way more painful than actually getting it.
No, Vlad, it's like 5, 6, 7 times more painful, homie. It's hard. And my skin is sensitive, so my thing puffs up like big time. There was kids that I took, that there were these hard cholos and everything, and I took them, and as soon as they see how my skin puffs up, I look farther like, hell no, we're gone. And then you have to go ahead and talk to them. Hey, it's gonna be okay. I don't know, man. So it's to that nature where it does hurt, and it's just not one treatment. You got to go every 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, Gerardo Lopez, it was a hell of a story, and you went through a lot to get to this point. A lot of losses, a lot of pain, but it seemed like you still have a good demeanor about the whole thing. It seems like the U.S. government never broke you, and it's broken a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people get into this prison system, and like that one kid, Junior, they try to kill themselves.
Right.
They can't go through that type of hardship. It seems like you got through and you came out a stronger person.
Right.
And not only did you leave the gang mentality, but you actually are now leading an organization, Homies Unidos, that's actually helping other people follow in your footsteps as well. So, I'm definitely proud of where you are in life right now, and I'm expecting much greater things for you in the future.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Vlad, for reaching out and wanting to have this interview. And, I like to say, I talk a lot of negativity because it consists of the story, talking about the police or the government. But, during this time, I have done presentations where I have met good police officers, right? It's not all of them are bad. I have met, people that have came to U.S. attorneys that have came to apologize and say they didn't have nothing to do with my case. I've sat in chambers with federal judges talking about law that they have invited me. I've done presentations presentations for U.S. attorneys, that they do for the defense attorneys on how to humanize their clients that are facing the death penalty, so they won't go ahead and killed off. So I understand that it wasn't everybody, and I can't go. Hate is hate. I can't hold on to hate and then teach a kid, to get out of a gang if you continue to have that hate. And I've gone to the extent also of being fortunate to sit on the district attorney's law enforcement and community relations council in Denver, to go ahead and build more of a better bridge between law enforcement and a community also, on how to go ahead and relate to each other more, how to have that respect also. And I'm also a mayor appointed commissioner for the city of Denver as well. So anything is possible when you continue to grow and continue to proceed, you know?
I love it, man. I love to hear stories like this, man. Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Vlad. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Right on.
Peace.